as the dark clouds are rolling in, I need to talk to you guys about getting ready for potential power outages and a storm and so forth, and kind of what we do on a very small scale. We're definitely not ready to the prepping kind of situations for days of no power or weeks and so forth. So we're not talking about that, because not all emergencies are so big that it warrants a prepper mindset. Some of the stuff is just honestly small things that you can do before any storm or before the weather network tells you it's going to be stormy, just to prepare yourself for the essentials. Like being able to make tea. Like, it doesn't have to be major. It doesn't have to be a massive ordeal. So that's what I want to talk to you about here. I do have a list of things that might be a good idea to prepare for a bigger power outage later on in the video. But for now, let's just talk about the simple stuff. We're not as prepared as we should be with a sub panel, for example. So that's installing a sub panel and having all your important stuff going to that and being able to run that on a generator. So you have, your water, your freezers, your fridges, and all of that working at least during your power outage. So that's what a sub panel would run, and a generator would be powering that. So we're actually not set up for that. Unfortunately, that is something that I would like to in the future, but we have not had power outages longer than 6-8 hours. Okay, so here's what we do. So water, super important, of course. So I just basically take pots of water, I fill them up with cold water. I set them in the kitchen, put a lid on it so they're nice and clean. There's no dust that's going to go into them. So we have water for us to drink, at least at the minimum. I make sure that the dog's water is completely full. The horse's trough is completely full. So they have water. We're not relying on the drinking post, because that will not work if there's a power outage. Chickens, ducks, garden watered. So again, I don't know how long the power outage is going to be. I want to make sure that everything's got water before this actually happens. And the second essential is food. So how do you make sure that you're set for food? Being able to warm something up, cook something. If you can't use your microwave, you can't use your electric stove, and things are starting to kind of look to the point where it's going to be sandwiches. We go into the garage, we go into our camping stuff, and we get the camping cooker. We make sure that the propane is full, and we're able to like, if you're able to cook some eggs during camping, you should be able to cook and boil some water, be able to make coffee. Yes, that's super important. Some tea, and just have those conveniences to be able to warm up some food for yourself during this power outage, simply on a little cook stove with some propane, or even a barbecue. I mean, there's so many great options. You can also, if you have one of those wood stoves, you can absolutely boil water. You can cook something on there. It's just a really great way to heat at your house and cook something as well, and not need to use propane. And lights. So we do think about this as well. So batteries in flashlights, or flashlights completely charged. So we are not worried about finding candles and matches and stuff like that. And we know where they are. They are handy. They're on top of the counters. So we're not scrambling around. And heat. Now, this is really important, of course, in the winter and cooler months, to be prepared. So if you have baseboard heating, of course, that's not going to work in a power outage. So you are risking just not having heat for a really, really long period of time, and that can get very uncomfortable. So blankets and so forth are going to be important. However, if you have a wood stove and you are like us, it is about making sure that you have wood ready to go and it's chopped, and you're not scrambling for that, of course, that you have that wood stove fired up and you're not scrambling for matches or anything like that. You're just kind of ready to go with this. And I love the wood stoves because you can also cook on them, like mentioned before. So they're really, really great that way. And some fun extras that a lot of people probably don't think about is making sure my phone is completely charged. If I have any backup charging packs, that they are charged as well. The laptops are charged. Maybe you download a movie or two or a TV show so you have something to do, some entertainment. You know where your playing cards are, so you can keep the family busy with board games or playing games or watching a movie or something along those lines. It will make these power outages, the dark times, so to speak, really manageable, go by really quick, and then before you know it, you are back in business. Now, if it's a larger emergency, of course, and more of this prepper mindset, I think it's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I always think about that because we're not as prepared as we need to be. However, maybe working towards that. And again, this isn't a bad thing because you're a prepper. I don't know why that name, that word has become such a negative connotation where it's a good thing. Be prepared. Why wouldn't you want to be prepared? Why wouldn't you want to be prepared for emergencies? Because you don't know what's going to happen. So you have extra food. Big deal. I think it's a wonderful thing to be extra prepared. So here's the list, and because we're not super ready for this, I did write it down. But always keep these in mind if it's short-term or long-term. Heat, water, food, light, and your extras like entertainment and stuff like that. Water is so important, especially if you have animals and a garden, because garden equals your food, and these things are super essential to have water. Water is more essential than we really think about. And it is probably one of the most important things on a homestead, especially if you have animals and they're relying on you. So have a massive bin of water. Like if you can get one of those food grades bins, fill it up with water and just have it there. If you don't need it, great. Dump it every so often, refill it. Just have extra water. It will not go to waste. You can put it in your garden later if you need to. You can always do something with it. Generators are always a good idea. And even if you don't have a sub panel set up, you don't have the whole setup, which is fine, at least you can run extension cords, you can do something. And again, fortunately, we never needed to worry about that, but we do have a generator. So if it comes down to it, make sure you have lots of fuel on the property. Fuel is going to be super important, and this is going to be diesel or gas, whatever your fuel is required for the equipment and the vehicles on your homestead. And your camping stuff, because if you're camping, you obviously don't have electricity. So think like you're camping and have all of those ready. So tons of propane for cooking, for your barbecue, power banks, solar banks, anything that you can to charge your stuff is going to be key. You're not going to have Wi-Fi, so you're going to have to rely on data if that's still in working order. We're talking about bigger emergencies here. Have a first aid kit and make sure everything is current and it's full. And again, on a homestead, it's not just you, it's your animals, it's your kids, whatever. It's everybody. Everybody will need you. Matches, lighters, extension cords handy. As mentioned for the generator, etc. Make sure that generator's in working order. I would even fill bathtubs of water, just to flush toilets. Download not only entertainment, like movies and fun stuff, but also maps. Download maps so you have them locally, then you're not relying on the internet. Extra blankets, think heat, extra wood, make sure you're not scrambling for anything. You have everything ready on the homestead and accessible. If you're requiring any medication, make sure you have that in excess. Make sure that you have cash on hand. Again, if it's a bigger emergencies, if it's on a bigger scale, it will affect ATMs, banks. You wouldn't be able to have access to your cash. You wouldn't even be able to pay for anything at a grocery store if that's what you're relying on is credit cards and debit cards. So cash is going to be king. Also things that I haven't even thought about, like manual can opener. I mean, I can use a knife, but that's not recommended. That's dangerous. And the list goes on. So we have chainsaws fueled up. So if storms drop trees, you're ready to be able to clear stuff. Bring in secure loose outdoor items before a storm hits. So even have one of those small radios. I know a client of mine got one and I thought that was brilliant. Just be ready for that. The one thing that I always don't think about is the pump in your septic. So don't put too much water down there because that could cause issues if there's a pump involved. And of course your well has a pump as well. So we did talk about water. And make sure you have instant coffee just in case, because let's face it, we're not going to pretend that's not a survival tool. And going back to what I said before, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But most important, in case of emergencies, no matter how big or small, check on your neighbors. Make sure they have everything, especially if they're senior or new to the area and just not sure and they don't have the right setup. Just check on them, please. Do the neighborly thing and check on them. So just know that being prepared on a rural property with animals is completely different than in the city. I've heard somebody say this and I thought it was really great, and they suggested to do a trial for one weekend. I would even say a day. Just turn off your whole panel, just your electrical panel, turn absolutely everything off and see how long you can go. You and your family and your kids. How much water do you need? How much are we relying on those things that require electricity? Just do it for a weekend. Just do it for a weekend. Just do it for a day, or just see how long you can do that for as a family. It's just good practice. So when things do happen, you're not panicking. You're actually ready. And I find that a lot of people don't. I find that I don't even think about the things that require power. I find that you kind of take it for granted. Anyways, I hope you got value, because I know a lot of people talk about prepper on the big scale, but nobody really discusses small, tiny preparations just to make your day comfortable. Because like, if my phone is charged, I can still do a little bit of work. I can catch up on emails. I can get back to people. Just little simple things that make my day better. So I like to be prepared. So every time I see black clouds, every time I see on the weather network that there's going to be a storm, I don't care how big, how small, small chances, big chances, I am ready. So be prepared, check on your neighbors, and have a beautiful stormy day.